Today is the 12th of July. We did our morning meditation up on the ordination platform. For me, that's a very, very special spot, and I really love it. Really love. One is meditating outside does seem to make a difference to the meditation, but also just that particular spot is very special. And of course, we've had ordinations there, and then where the Earth Star Bodhisattva shrine is, that was where the original ordination platform was. So like where Ajahn was ordained, Ajahn Jodipalo, and some of the first Abhayagiri monks were ordained in that spot, and then eventually we changed it over to the spot where it currently is. But very special spot. I remember my parents coming to visit a couple years back, and we just sat on that spot. I think it was like autumn, very, very peaceful and perfect weather, and we just sat there and hung out for a while, and my mom was like, "This is like the most beautiful place in the world." So sometimes when we're in it, we don't realize what we have. We might take it for granted. But, even though we might think, okay, we're in Redwood Valley near Ukiah, kind of north of San Francisco. We're in California. But I know there's places both here, like at my kuti. One of the special things about the location where my kuti is I can be on the deck of my kuti and looking out over the forest, and I can't see any sign of humanity. I can't see a single structure on the mountainsides. Looking out at the particular way my kuti is situated, I can't see any sign of humanity. So there is that real sense of solitude here. It's very special. And if you didn't tell me I was in California, I've been to the foothills of the Himalayas. I mean, it's very similar. And even Bhutan, certain parts of Bhutan are just like Mendocino County. You could drop me in Bhutan, and if I didn't know where I was, you could tell me it was Mendocino County, and I wouldn't know. So it is very special, the place we have here. It's very beautiful, and we can use the environment to brighten the mind, and there can be a sense of joy and delight and wonder, and it can lead to quite a lot of gladness and happiness. This is piti sukha, so this using the environment to create a strong sense of contentment. But then if we're up in our head too much, then we might start creating issues and problems and seeing the fault in things or seeing that things are wrong around us. But if we're able to just be in that sense of contentment and have that sense of no worries and everything's okay in the moment, then we can really live with a sense of non-clinging, not picking things up, and it's quite wonderful. Master Xuan Hua would talk about this. He gave a teaching one time where he said, "I'm going to teach you something really controversial and really radical right now, and it's something that almost nobody's going to believe, but I'm going to tell it to you anyway." He said, "Everything's okay." And that was the teaching. Everything's okay. So almost nobody can believe that, but in the moment, everything's okay. So with the Dhamma also, as we go about day by day learning about the Dhamma, we start to see that the reality that we've been living in is just our fabrication. So we're living in an illusion, and then the reality is just what's happening in the moment. So this is the Akaligo Dhamma, the timeless Dhamma. That's what's happening in the moment. So anytime we come back with mindfulness to see what's happening in the moment, that's coming back to the Dhamma. But anytime we lose our mindfulness and we get lost in thoughts of the past and the future, and get lost in worry and a sense of things aren't right, things aren't okay, then we lose that Dhamma and we go back into the illusion. So we come back into the moment, and we might be thinking, I want things to go a certain way today during the work period, or I want things to go a certain way tomorrow, or I want things to go a certain way with my own plans and dreams and aspirations. But then the Dhamma that's thinking in the present. So what's really happening is thinking in the present. Those things off in the future, those ideas don't exist apart from just being thoughts in the present. So everything we do is like this. So when we make future plans and aspirations, it's all happening in the present. That will condition our future. In a certain way, but it'll depend on the way the present and the future are related, is that it depends on the quality of the intention. So if the quality of the intention is wholesome, then it will lead to a wholesome future. But if it's unwholesome and it's coming from, say, anger, irritation, and so on, then we might think it's going to create a good future, or we might think that it's going to get us what we want, but actually it's going to burn us. But if we have wholesome aspirations, that'll create a wholesome future, and our future will be cool and bright and peaceful. If we have unwholesome aspirations, it'll be like fire and we'll get burned. But then even higher than that, so the Arhat doesn't do that at all. The Arhat's transcended the wholesome and the unwholesome, so they don't create a future for themselves. That's why they're not born again. So we're constantly being reborn into the future, and since we have to keep doing that, we may as well make it wholesome rather than unwholesome. But it's a good recollection for the Arhat. They don't have that. They don't create that aim in the future. There is no future for the Arhat. The illusion's completely done away with, and it's just the present. And yet there is wonderful and wholesome activity that happens in the present. You think of somebody like Luang Por Liam, even though he has no future, he's not creating a future for himself, still there is compassionate activity happening in the present. And then that's pretty amazing to think about. That is possible for everybody. It's just, if you're human, it's possible. So it's something worth thinking about, not to think that, oh, I can't do this. This is impossible. But as we go about our day, just to come back with the whole point is to come back with mindfulness to the present. As we're going about our day, as we're going about the work period, to just stop sometimes and say, oh, where is the mind at right now? What's it doing? The planning, thinking of the past, thinking of the future, or some sort of nattering away in the present. What is it doing? So the mindfulness is like the brakes. When we see things in the present, then it's like putting on the brakes, because, oh, that's what it's doing. Then we can reassess, recalibrate, and it gets better and better. For the one who has mindfulness, each day is better than the previous day. The one who has mindfulness, each day is better. So it's all about mindfulness. It's not about special practices or becoming this or that. It's all about sati. It's all about mindfulness and awareness. So as we go about our day, it can be getting things done together, can be quite enjoyable, and we can enjoy each other. You can enjoy each other's company, and there can be a sense of camaraderie, and we're all wanting to do these Dhamma activities and wholesome activities together. And with mindfulness, it's going to make it even better. There will be that shared sense of cultivation and practice. So I'll leave that for reflection this morning.